Hello and welcome to Cosmos and Commerce. I'm Janice alongside with Michelle, and we have a fantastic guest today. Some people talk about community. Christine Simmons actually builds it. We met her through the Chamber of Commerce during her years at Fairfield Federal Bank, watched her step into the director role at United Way in Lancaster, and then, because why not? Last year she went and bought a business. Party Plus in Lancaster is now hers, and she's making it thrive. We're talking event rentals, weddings, backyard bashes, corporate events, and a whole lot of entrepreneurial grit behind the scenes. Christine, we are thrilled to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Welcome,
you so
Christine.
much. Who would have guessed this all those years ago, right?
I know. We
No,
were trying
right?
to think of when we were talking about this at the women's leadership, like how long we've known each other, right? I know, I knew you, I think before I was on the board with the chamber through Fairfield Federal, right?
Oh, probably, yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
definitely since, oh gosh, when I stepped into that role at Fairfield Federal, probably in 2016. Yeah,
yeah. 16?
Wow.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
10 years? Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years.
Okay.
All
Wow,
right,
we,
Christine, tell us the story about how you ended up buying Party Plus.
Can I say mimosas?
Yeah. I mean, that's how we got our podcast name.
It
yeah.
definitely started. It definitely started with mimosas. No, it really is. I think mimosas were involved with the final decision, but I just happened to be on Facebook one day and saw an ad from uh, the previous owner of Party Plus, stating that he was putting it up for sale and some terms and honestly, I didn't even think of myself, but I immediately thought of my friend and now business partner Deb Connell. When I learned of it being up for sale, I knew immediately that this was her wheelhouse, that something she'd be great at, and I screenshot it and sent it to her. So that's how it started.
She's like, heck yeah. Or is she like, oh my God.
Well, when she got the text, she was like, "Okay, this is weird. You're like the third person that has sent this to me." And I
Oh,
said, "Well, maybe it's a sign." And it just snowballed from there. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. So from that first text to when you actually, the closing of the sale, how long did it take you?
Oh, it was it went quickly. Uh and that's funny for me because that's not and I normally am a delayed decision maker. And Deb is definitely the one who can make decisions quickly on the fly. I think that is a part of our good partnership. But yeah, I believe I saw the ad that it went up for sale in October, and we made the decision uh, rather quickly and by January 1st of
Wow.
2025. Yeah, we were
Wow.
owners. Yep.
Okay, we'll talk more about all the details of that purchase like later on. But
Yes.
let's go into the city that you live in, the city where your business is. You're a Lancaster native. What do you love most about running a business in the community?
Oh my gosh, yep. I'm a Lancaster native, born and raised here, getting ready to celebrate my 30th high school reunion. And that's
Oh,
actually a big deal here locally because our high school, the high school I graduated from, is getting ready to be torn down. So
oh,
celebrating my 30th reunion, and they're going to do a kind of a closeout. So yeah, this community is so special to me and so important to me. Um, I grew up here, have always worked here, never have worked outside of the city limits, and I just love it. So, what's so special about running a business in this community is I know my customers. I mean, what's better than knowing the people that you're working with on some very special moments? These are people I grew up with, whether it's celebrating their parents' birthday or their kid's graduation or a wedding. It is it's just so special. And I think when they come in the door, if they don't know I'm the owner and then they see me, you can almost see like a sigh of relief, like, oh, I know her. I want to work with her. She knows my kids. She's watched them grow up. So it's been really special. That's been probably the best part. And still being involved in the community as a business owner with nonprofits and giving back too. I still am engaged, so I love it.
Awesome.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
you said 30th high school reunion. It's mine too. I didn't realize we graduated the same year.
Yeah.
You guys are babies.
We are.
I had my 50th last year.
I have to hang out with Janice all the time, right?
That's amazing.
All right. You recently celebrated your 1 year anniversary owning Party Plus. So tell us about that. Janice and I got to celebrate with you, but what was the milestone like?
Oh, it was so
Anything?
special. It was so special seeing all my friends and family come out and support us. People from just all different um, parts of my life, been through the path with me different times. It was just, it was so special to see, and it was kind of like a sigh of relief. Oh, we made it. We survived the first year, so it was great having everyone here celebrating, and it was just special to show everyone the changes we've made, what we've done in the showroom, and it was a big deal. It was very
I was
special.
super impressed with the showroom.
Thank you.
It's very pretty.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah,
pretty.
Thank you.
yeah,
I think that's the key is getting people into the showroom. They don't realize just how much we have and how much we can do and what we offer until they come in the showroom. And
yeah.
it's, a lot of our business is all by phone and online, but I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, when they come in here, they do realize, oh, I needed this. I wished I'd got that.
Yeah.
So that is the key is getting them in the showroom. We're pretty proud of it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So I know I always told you that I thought things happened the way they did with your career to lead you right to this moment. But tell me, um, what skills, what did you learn along the way that helped you where you are now?
Uh, yep. Oh gosh, hope I don't cry. It's emotional for me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I started at Fairfield Federal right out of college. In fact, I was supposed to be a teacher. So it was supposed to be just a summer job till I got my first teaching job, and I just fell in love with Fairfield Federal and never ended up applying for uh, teaching jobs. So I saw the potential there. I saw room to grow and move up, and it was just a great place to start out my career. Um, if it wasn't for the opportunities that I had at Fairfield Federal, I definitely wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be as engaged in my community as I am. So it really transformed me. So 26 years there, and the opportunity just came up after 26 years to take the lead at United Way as CEO. I had been involved with United Way probably for about 6 years as a board member, and it really became a passion of mine. It was always important. It was an organization important to my mother. So it was kind of a no-brainer to take that leap. And I think it was just the right timing. My kids were grown, so it's a scary thought to go from having a retirement plan and benefits to all of a sudden not. But I felt like I was just in a position where we could do it. My kids weren't as dependent on me, and I made the leap. And I only stayed there for 2 years, but I don't regret any of the decisions. I tell people that it was definitely my path. It just wasn't my path to stay on very long. And I think moving to United Way when I did made it much easier for me to say yes when this opportunity. I can't imagine being 26 years in a very stable career that I just loved with people that I loved. If opportunity had been presented to me then, I probably would have said, "You're crazy. I'm not leaving this to buy a business." But it was just timing was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. You needed the United Way to,
I did.
yeah, it all worked out.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out. I really feel like I was still meant to be at United Way. It was, like I said, that was my path. It just wasn't for me to stay on long. I feel like I was put there not only to find the perfect person for that position after me, but I was put there to work with people that kind of put me in the right place, aligned to buy this business too. So
Those 2 years
Yeah.
went fast.
it did
They
go
did.
fast.
Yeah, I mean, I remember all that.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you said 2 years, I was thinking it was only a year, but
It
Yeah,
was
same.
it was not quite 2 years, probably a year and a half. Yeah, but yeah, it went fast.
that's awesome.
Not fast enough for you.
I know. Oh gosh.
Oh. Okay, so you have Deb as a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive into that a little bit. So
Okay.
I connect with you a lot in having a partner. I've had Kyron with Body Ache Escape for
Uh-huh.
16 years, and it has ups and downs.
It does.
So, what were you fully like ready for? Because having a partner in business is almost more commitment than a marriage.
It is.
Almost.
Definitely.
So were you
Definitely.
ready for that? Like, tell me, how has it been? What are some perks and challenges of having a partner?
Oh, it's been good. But you're right. It's something I was not prepared for it. But there is also nothing better than working with a good friend.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Deb and I is we work really well together. We are extremely opposite in so many ways, and she will tell you that. And we're able to look at each other's differences and recognize them and compliment them, but also speak freely when we need to, kind of step back and say, okay, wait a minute. And so it's been great. So Deb and I'm not sure if you knew this, though, it's not like we've been friends for years. People just assume that. We did not become friends until my oldest was a senior in high school. And I believe her youngest was either a freshman or a sophomore. So they were on the track team together, and that's kind of how we became acquainted. When you're traveling to all those meets together, parents end up spending lots of hours together. So that's really how we met. So I would say 2018 is really when we formed a good friendship, and yeah, so she's great. Like I said, she is. When I said earlier, she makes decisions fast. I tend to be the one that thinks a little bit longer, so it's been good, but it does have its challenges too. I would say our biggest challenge is Deb does work full time. This is not her main gig, and she has a job that takes a lot of responsibility and a lot of her time. So for me, that has been one of the hardest. Is I'm more of a team player. I want to make decisions with others as a team, and so this has forced me to work independently, kind of decide some things independently, make notes as often as possible, and clue her in. But it has been a challenge and fantastic at the same time. One of the things I like the most is she's able to step back, and she compliments me when I need it, and I compliment her when she needs it. And it's kind of cool that sometimes the person talking on the inside, when she can confirm it. Most recently, she shared with me, she said, wow, you were just really stepping up. Just a difference the year has made. Before I was blowing up her phone. I was texting her. I was calling her all the time. Poor thing.
Yeah.
You know, should we do this? Should I do that? How would you handle this? And now we just do it. And it's starting to get really smooth and work out that, you know, we know that we're not always each going to make the right decision. But as long as we follow up and talk about how we would do it differently, or I would have done this, or we should have done this, and it's really, it's working out.
Good.
Yeah. It takes a while to figure out the boundaries for each other.
It,
Like, what's
Yeah.
Deb gonna accept, or what's she gonna get mad at? Like, not that
right,
she would, but you don't
right,
want her to, so
yeah,
you're scared to make those decisions without her involvement. Yeah. Now
right.
you know each other
I'm a
better,
people
and you can.
pleaser. I've
Yeah.
always been a people pleaser, so I want to, make sure that I'm always doing what's best. But just lots of communication. I'm not going to say we haven't had a blow up. All marriages have their ups and downs, and this is like a marriage. Um,
Yeah.
so, but they've been very few and far between, and we've hugged them out and talked them out, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, you're
That,
gonna like
I
put
blew
it
up.
in the flow now, you know.
Yeah.
I love it.
I blew up on Kyron probably once a month. Just used to that.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. It has happened, but yeah, and it was in the very beginning too, during very stressful season. So
Because you were both learning that,
yeah,
and it's yeah.
yeah. But we work
All
well
right.
together.
What's something about the rental business that most people get completely wrong, or something that
Oh,
people
that is,
assume that
oh
they're
my
not really
gosh,
about?
that it's easy money. I
Oh,
think everyone just assumes it's easy money, and all I'm doing is loading up chairs, tables, and tents, and charging a high price for someone to rent it, and it's just money coming in, and it's easy, and it's not that at all. It's
Yeah.
it's it's so much more. I don't even really think I'm a rental company. I'm a logistics. Logistics and
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I
operation
see that.
is the main thing. It's not just loading up a truck full of uh, tents, tables, and chairs and just going out on the road. It's preparing all the tents, tables, and chairs, and cleaning, and the logistics, which has been a struggle on how do I develop an efficient plan with the
Yeah, like
right.
what comes first?
Yes,
Yes,
what
the
comes first?
checklist.
How
Yeah.
many team players does it take? What part of the county or outside of the county are we going to go to on what day? And then, you got to look at weather. There's a lot to it
Oh
that
yeah.
I didn't even consider. So it's been quite the learning journey, and we're still learning. I'm sure this upcoming season is going to teach us all new things, but I'm definitely way more prepared than I was last year.
Constantly learning. That's good.
Constantly learning. Yeah.
About 10 years ago, when we had our 5-year anniversary party, I tried to rent from Party Plus. Did I tell you about that? It was,
Uh-oh.
I mean, it was before you owned it, obviously, 10
Okay.
years
Yeah.
ago, but
Yeah.
it was at the last minute, they were like, no, we can't come and set up. It's too windy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
That does sadly happen. So, I'm interested. What happened? We have not had that happen yet, but it
oh,
does
really?
happen.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
We've been
canceled
having
on
so
us.
much wind this like
hmm
last month,
hmm
Yeah.
but you're going to start to have a lot of outdoor things now.
Yes. So, did you just go without a tent for your event?
We just went without a tent. Yeah. It was fine.
Wow.
It didn't rain, so.
Well,
That's
that's
good.
good. That
Yeah.
is good. But
Yeah.
we do our best to not have those. We are very cautious when scheduling, that we are always, letting the customer know that this could happen. This is a possibility. Um, I'll say this year's United Way Polar Plunge was a scary challenge for me. We don't typically put up tents, in below zero temperatures. It's a risk. And it's a risk actually for the person renting, really. They're signing, taking responsibility of this. So, I technically could do it, but I don't want to see customers and especially nonprofits, have to pay for a tent. So we do our best, and we try to leave our time, our schedule a little bit free. If I'm not past calling a customer and saying, hey, looks like we have high winds on Friday, can we come on Wednesday? So we do our best to avoid those last minute cancellations.
Nice. What's your favorite type of event to set up for? I know you do weddings,
Oh
backyard
gosh,
parties, corporate events.
gosh. I really have been enjoying the trend is the micro wedding, the backyard, the smaller wedding. I've really enjoyed being involved in those. That would have to be my favorite. Watching someone transform their backyard into something so special, that has been probably my favorite.
Yeah, I love
Awesome.
that. Both of my
Yeah.
Yeah.
granddaughters, and two of them got married in my backyard, and the backyard just looked amazing. It just
Yeah.
looked gorgeous, and their tastes are totally different. So
Oh, that's
anyway,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it is special. Um,
yeah,
and just watching that play out too, and seeing the memories created. That's the most special part. But I
Yeah.
mean, all day long as a business owner, I want to do those great big huge corporate events, really. But it is the smaller, more intimate event that you walk away with the fuzzy feelings.
Yeah.
yeah.
It sounds like you really love what you do.
I
Before.
do, I do love what I do. Um,
Great.
I do love what I do. And it's so funny. The other day I was I've told multiple people that this is probably let's just say my financial advisor is probably not really happy with me right now. But this is probably the least amount of money I've made in my, adult working uh, years. But it's the happiest I've been.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a price to pay for, some of that is priceless, for
Yes.
your mental well-being, I
Right,
feel.
right. I mean, I've been fortunate to work with wonderful companies and stuff, but there's something to say
Hmm.
about I've always been a hard worker, and I've probably put higher expectations on myself than what my employers have. Uh, and so if you're going to work that hard, at the end of the day, you might as well work that hard, for yourself.
For
And
yourself.
my family's involved in this project, which makes it even more special. And so I'm hoping that I'm creating something lasting for them to carry on
Yeah,
long after me.
yeah,
Yeah. I always look at the early years as an investment.
Yes. Yeah.
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 So,
My kids and some of the warehouse workers laugh. They have a plan that they want to open up another Party Plus, and they want to call it Party Plus Plus. Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Or it could be party plus one, because when you go to a party, you get a plus
Oh,
one
there you go. There you
or
go.
plus
Oh,
two.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. Party
Yeah.
times
You
two.
can have that. No charge. No
Thank you.
charge.
Thank you. I just wrote that down.
Did you? Oh, I love it.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts, I have to ask you this question. What is the best piece of business advice someone ever gave you?
Oh, gosh. I
If we need to
feel
come
like,
back to it, we can.
yeah, I can't think of it right offhand. I either I haven't been listening fully in the last year to everyone, but I don't even know if it's business advice. But I I'm going to go with this. It wasn't necessarily in my advice going into business, but it was the piece of advice that from starting at Fairfield Federal. I'll never forget one of my bosses telling me that the most important thing to do is to listen and never tell your story. And I think that's kind of been important, even here, that it was just a good reminder that for me, it really molded me to be a really good listener, which has helped with customer service. Don't tell your story. You know, that customer, whether it's on the other side of a teller line, or, you know, working with someone at the nonprofit, or on the other side of this counter here at Party Plus, they don't want to hear my story. They want me to listen to their story. And
Yeah.
sometimes we can get too consumed with forming our story in our heads
Hmm.
to share with them. And that's not always what they want. They want to make sure that they're heard no matter what. And that really, at the end of the day, has helped me in every line of work I've been in. And it's really important here because details are important. So you've got to be a good listener. So
I thought
that's
about
probably my
that
most
too.
important.
Yeah, I thought about that too because a lot of times you can relate to what somebody's telling you and you want to say, "Oh, I went through that too," and da da da, but then you take a step back and like, "Hey, this is not about you, it's about them," right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of, yeah, I've learned that as well. That is good advice.
yeah.
So behind the scenes in your day-to-day operations,
hmm
what goes into preparing for a large event that most people like don't see behind the scenes things?
Behind the scenes preparing for a large event. What people don't see is they don't see how we are going through inventory and, you know, making sure that we have the inventory and that it's not secured for someone else already. And just the preparation, for example, a large order of tableware. They have no idea the amount of time that goes into washing, sanitizing, polishing, and bagging up. And we really take pride here at Party Plus on how we prepare. When you get your table service at your event, you know that it is sealed in plastic. It has not had a lot of hands touching it. And we definitely, when we came in here, we changed some policies and how things were being done. And we really take pride in that. So things are ready to go for your event. You should not have to call in and say, "Hey, this is spotted. This is spotted." We really take a lot of pride in how we prepare your things. They don't understand how we are looking at mileage, distance, how logistics, going back to logistics, that's our main
Mhm.
thing here is what part of the county are we going to? What county outside of Fairfield County are we going to? How many events are there that we can all schedule at one time? How many guys is it going to take? We have a large variety of tents here, and some can take 1 to 2 people to put up, and some can take up to, 5 to 8 people to put up. So that's the big thing. They don't see all the logistics, all the planning behind that goes on in regards to everything from crew to preparing to cleaning and packaging and getting things ready for their delivery or pickup.
Yeah. Oh, and some people pick things up, right?
Yes, yes, we do. We do a lot of pickup orders. If they can fit it in and save themselves the cost of delivery,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of people will choose that option. So, and there again, that's something we have to consider too, even at our busy times. Do we have someone in the warehouse that's here to help with pickups? And it can be
Mhm.
sometimes a long, boring day. I always say there's tons to do. The guys in the warehouse might not always think so, but there's always cleaning and stuff to do while you wait. But, if our hours are 10 to 5, then someone can show up as early as 10 and as late as 5 for pickup. So, do I have someone to help load that up? Do I have coverage in the showroom as well? So, there's a lot of logistics to it. And
Mhm.
it seems like the warehouse team always, the fun part is being out and about, on deliveries, not sitting in the warehouse and waiting for pickups. But
Mhm.
so this year it's just going to be the year of taking all the lessons we learned last year and really instituting some new policies and procedures. And so I'm excited to see this busy season.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Do you have many walk-ins? I mean, just
We do. Walk-ins, I would say mainly are right before big holidays, like right before Thanksgiving
mm,
or Christmas. The person that comes in and goes, "Oh my gosh, Aunt Edna just decided to show up and I need 3 more chairs. She's bringing this person, this person." So the last minute order for chairs
mm,
before holidays, that's a big one. But
mm,
we do get our share of walk-ins for things.
yeah, cool. So, what does a typical week look like for you, and how do you and Deb divide your responsibilities?
I think Deb and I are still working on that plan of dividing responsibilities, but she in her role, her full-time role is extremely busy, so she does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for me, a lot of the accounting, QuickBooks, bills, stuff like that. She handles a lot of that. um, Thank goodness Deb is not a sleeper. She'll be the first one to tell you. I swear that woman can run on 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So
Mhm.
it's nothing for her to be, doing some of that stuff late at night on her laptop, which helps me out greatly. And then I am honestly handling day to day in shop, um, all the logistics, all the answering emails, uh, phone calls, reservations, quotes. So I really do all the um, stuff in the showroom and the warehouse. I'm here Monday through Friday. Occasionally you'll see me on Saturdays, and Deb does work Saturdays too. She runs our showroom on Saturdays. Um,
Mm.
and she does all the decorating. I do not decorate. I'm that is a challenge for me this year. We were just talking about it last night. I'm going to try to step up and do a little bit more decorating, but that's Deb is the artist, and that's kind of where this whole um, business plan or this dream, I guess, quick dream. I never dreamed that I'd be a business owner, but in October, she's the person I thought of. So
When
she
you saw
is,
it. Yeah.
she does do a lot of the staging on weekends in the showroom. She does a lot of the decorating. And when we have that client that just wants some ideas um, given to them, she's the one that really works on those. So, yeah,
Nice.
we're a
So
good
you
team.
mentioned, yeah, you mentioned QuickBooks. What type of software or systems do you use for your inventory and customer communication and things?
So when we purchased Party Plus, we stayed with their rental platform, which is called Total Rental. Um, and honestly, we went into this not knowing anything about the rental business, not knowing anything about owning a business, really. So we still have a lot to learn in that respect. But I will say, Total Rental was it's affordable for us. It was an easy platform. Do I get aggravated at times with it? I think it's a little outdated, and I definitely see room for us to improve and grow. But I'm also very fortunate that it was so easy to learn quickly because we were thrown into that first year fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I do enjoy that. And then we just got to start setting ourselves up to put us in places to meet people and learn about what's out there for the rental business. So we did have an opportunity earlier this year to go to the ARA, the American Rental Association conference in Orlando, and unfortunately that kind of fell through for us. That would have put us in the right place to meet a lot of vendors for everything from tents, tables, chairs, and the
Mm-hmm.
rental platforms. So I do hope in 2026 to be doing a little bit more homework in regards to that and finding a platform. But for now, it works, and it worked a long time for Party Plus. I mean, Party Plus was in business a long time before us.
I was just going to ask, how long has Party Plus been around?
Oh gosh. I know that Party Plus has been in the current building that we're in since 2021. and before that, they were up on Memorial Drive. So I don't know. I want to say 14 years, if not
Okay.
longer,
Okay.
maybe longer than that. So they've been business. They've been around. They've been a fixture in Lancaster for a while.
Okay. Nice. What's your biggest operational headache, and how have you worked to solve that?
Haven't worked to solve it yet. I'm working.
Work in progress.
Let's just call this whole thing a plea for help. Send me advice. Um, I would say my biggest headache right now is how to figure out staffing. So this is a unique business, sometimes difficult. So where we're at is it's definitely seasonal, right? So it's so hard when, say, in our busy seasons, we need maybe 6 staff members, 2 different teams going out and doing deliveries, and then all of a sudden, when you're slow season, not having work for them. So that was heartbreaking for me. I
Yeah.
wanted to hire everyone full time. And I learned quickly that we had to just figure out what tents and what deliveries take this. And I just I gotta be a little tougher, even though I want to give them all the hours. But so we are doing a better job on that. We closed 2025, I think, doing a really good job on managing and not having full staff in here when it wasn't necessary. But so that's probably my hardest part, is figuring out how many people I need on what days and when, and kind of how to schedule them. So
Yeah. How do you manage your equipment maintenance and replacement cycles? And how do you budget for big ticket items like you get, like, I don't know, like a high wind and you lose a expensive tent? I don't
right.
know.
Yeah, so last year, in 2025, really, like I said, we, just jumped into this and had no idea, no training, no clue what we were doing. So we do know moving forward that we are going to have to do a better job on, putting back for those emergencies for maintenance. So right now, you use your downtime for the full timers that we do have to be in the warehouse to do maintenance, and they've done lots of training and lots of homework, and figuring out how to do what we can with what we've got. And then this year it is going to be a season of, okay, let's start figuring out how we put funds back for purchasing. So what we will probably look to do is take some of our oldest inventory and look to discount that. People are always looking to buy tables and chairs. And
Oh,
we'll sell those and then put funds
then
into
replenish. Oh, yeah. That's a good
replenishing. So
idea.
yeah, that happens a lot in this industry. So
Oh,
moving forward, we just were not in the position the first year to do a lot of replacing, but man, our team worked really hard on this down season, the slow season, and I'm so proud of what they've done to repair and fix up, and just I really know that this year going into our busy season that our stuff is quality and looks even better than last year. So
good.
I will never forget the story you told me about the guy in the parking lot painting the chairs
yeah.
and the
Painting
he
your
was
chairs?
Oh
he was
yes,
spray
big.
painting the chairs.
Yes, we have.
Oh.
So that's something, in the industry that's often done. You will actually see some deliveries actually keep spray cans and paint as they're delivering. Because you want, at the end of the day, these are rented items. They get
Yes.
scratched. Just
Yeah.
like, Michelle, and you're both in the real estate business. Not renters don't always take care of everything
No.
Right,
like
right.
like we would want them to. So at the end of the day, there's some maintenance. They're not going to be perfect.
You just got to
So yeah,
remember what you're beside when you're
yes.
spray
But
painting
yeah, so
the
I
car.
challenged the boys to fix those white chairs up, and they went outside in the parking lot and took a can of spray paint and spray painted the white chairs, and it
So
blew all
hard.
over my brand new car. And Yeah, yeah. I think the car was not even a month old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and their cars as well. So that was a lesson. Um, it was
Their
a big
fixers
lesson.
is still spray painted.
It was a big lesson. I tend to go with the flow, so I did not get as upset as my husband did. But we survived it, and it taught those boys so much. And by the end of 2025, we had a paint booth. They got real creative and took our pipe and drape and created their own um,
There you
paint
go.
booth.
Oh,
And
like a
so
tanning, like a.
like
That's
it
hilarious.
looked
Spray
exactly
tan.
like a tanning booth. Yes, they used the tarps that we used to put tents up to protect the top of the tents from grass, and yeah, it worked out
Nice,
fine.
nice.
There we go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Some
What is your,
ingenuity.
yeah, figuring it out. What does
Yeah.
your revenue curve look like across the year? I know you have peak months and slow months. What are those?
So May and June are busy, busy. So the months that are our busiest would be May, June, September, and October. Those are really, now we will be quite consistent from the end of April through probably the second week in November. But the really, really busy months where you are really figuring out how am I going to get it all delivered and done will be May, June, and September and October. Yeah.
Okay.
September and October are now our big wedding months.
A lot of people are getting married in the fall.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. I think
it's a nice time.
traditionally, just in our area, our springs have tend to be wet,
Yep.
and the weather's so unpredictable that people are just really moving to fall weddings.
My
And
son
of
got married in
course,
October and it was gorgeous
oh
outside.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
gorgeous.
and we're so close to Hocking Hills
Yep.
too. So everyone wants to get married in the Hocking Hills in the fall. So
Mhm. Those
Nice.
colors are beautiful.
yeah.
I know you had like a little freak out to me about the winter and how slow it was. You weren't expecting, you knew it was going to be slow, but you weren't expecting to be so slow. And you had some genius ideas about how to create that cash flow. Share those.
Yeah, so we were told that the winter months would be slow months. I had no idea that slow meant the phones just stop ringing. They absolutely just stop, which for the warehouse team is an amazing opportunity because it gave them some much needed rest. And it gave them the opportunity to rest and come back really ready to clean and repair and fix and get everything in order for our busy season. So that was great for them. For us, cash flow wise, you panic. How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to pay the staff that is remaining for the winter season? So it was quite concerning, and that's when you just have to start thinking fast. And we started doing more, opening up the showroom more for rental opportunities. Yeah, like I said earlier, the micro everything seems to be so popular now. Micro weddings, so small bridal showers, baby showers. We've even booked for some graduation parties. So at the end of the day, it's still a showroom, but we have the unique opportunity to provide them a beautiful space. They can rent for 3 or 4 hours, and they can bring in their own food, their own drink, and have everything here. I mean, how awesome. So we have a base package we offered where you just get the basic chairs, tables, and a plastic covering, and anything else that we have that they want to upgrade to, they get 50% off. We're not having to pack it up.
Yeah, you
We're
don't have
not
to
having
look.
to
Yeah.
deliver it. So, yeah, you can upgrade and get nice linens, and it's a beautiful showroom, and we do our best to make it look very intimate for their party and not, look like a storefront per se. And that's helped us out to generate some we've been able to open it up to some local nonprofits. It just offers a small space, venue space, affordable venue space is so difficult these days, especially in our area. So
And that
it's been,
photographer studio was the
yes,
thought.
yep. We've had some mini sessions in here. We've had some Easter sessions that had some bunnies and
Oh,
chicks in here.
oh,
Yeah, so yeah, we've had some coming home pictures done in here. We've had yeah, senior pictures. We had headshots done not too long ago in
Well, you
the
should offer headshots to like local area realtors and business people. Everybody
yeah,
needs a headshot.
yeah, we need to pitch that because
yeah.
we have oh my gosh, any kind of backdrop you can think of, we can create. So
Mm-hmm.
you really have the opportunity of renting the space and creating several different, and not have to carry your stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we can carry the backdrops. They can bring their lighting. We even do offer some lighting in here. So it's been nice to think outside of the box. I think what sets us apart is that we are family owned and operated. So we have the flexibility. I can send someone home during the week if they have to come in on a weekend and open up for a party, or even on the flip side, we're at one time Party Plus didn't do weekend deliveries or pickups. We can now, for a convenience charge, offer that, which has been so extremely helpful for our deliveries in the Hocking Hills area. A lot of people renting venues, you know, they and Airbnbs and cabins have to be out by a certain hour. So that has definitely, and that's helped generate some more income and revenue for us, and just showing the customer that we're flexible too.
So, what's the number one thing that you can rent out the most before having to replace it?
Ooh. Obviously tents, we can rent those out way more. They're more expensive, you know,
Yeah,
but we can rent those out quite
a
a
lot of
while
times.
before we have to replace them, as long as we're doing our due diligence and taking care of them. But honestly, some of the things that you wouldn't think of, you know, they get ruined a lot. I guess, and I know I'm kind of going away from the question here, but I think it's a valid point is, you know, a lot of people ask, well, renting's so expensive. There's a lot of loss in renting. It goes back to what we were saying earlier. People don't always take care of things like we would want them to be taken care of. It's always a high chaos, high pressure, you know, event at a wedding. Accidents happen, glasses get
Mm-hmm.
dropped. One of the biggest things I think you lose the most money on is linens. Everyone's having an Italian or a barbecue dinner on a white linen, and they just don't come clean.
Or
So
spilling red wine on it, or
yeah, yeah, and you
oh,
got to think of all the costs that go into preparing that linen, from, you know, dry cleaning, wash. We do everything in house. We order a lot of our linens, but we do have a lot of in-house linens too, where we're washing them, pressing them, which can take hours to get
Yeah.
prepared for a large order.
Gosh.
There's a lot of work involved in it. So uh, I would say our tents. I might have to get back with you on that answer
yeah.
though. But yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you go about on your pricing? Are you competing on your price or your service, or how do you compare? I mean, there's not many event places
So in
to compare.
2026, and we did this in 2025 as well, Deb and I always make sure we take at least 2 full weekends where we lock ourselves up in a hotel room. Okay, we might have had a couple adult beverages and went to the spa one day, but um, we lock ourselves up, and that's when we talk about this kind of stuff and make this kind of do this kind of planning. So I'll be honest, it was such a whirlwind of a 2025 that we haven't had time to look at our pricing, but we recently, in fact this week, just today, I was doing some, and I think we do have some room to change our pricing. I think we might be a little bit we're not competing. We're not we we're not doing as good as we could be in that area. So it's good for the customer. I think you're getting some deals, but I do
Yeah.
think we have some room. We got to make money at the end of the day, and
Sure.
we jumped in and we kept everything the first year the same pricing because when there's a change in leadership, um, everyone kind of holds their breaths and panics a little bit. And we
Yeah.
were fortunate enough when we bought Party Plus that a lot of it came with a lot of returning customers, people that
Yeah.
have the same event every year that get the same equipment and they don't want change. So we
Yeah.
were we were very mindful of that, and we let them know that we're not making changes now, but it could come.
It could
So I
come in the
think
future.
for at least they appreciated that. I did everything from even sent out changes almost a year in advance. When they got their order last year, I told them this is what it looks like. This is what it looked like last year. It looks like that again. Here's what you might see next year. So it
Yeah.
helped a lot of organizations plan with their budgeting by doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Manage
there
some
will be
expectations too.
some changes coming.
Yeah. So what upsells? You mentioned some add-ons and things like that, and people like not realizing, oh, hey, I might need this or something extra. But what upsells or add-ons have you been the most successful at?
Um,
In-
Linens and quick covers. Um, like I said earlier, at the end of the day, these are rented items. So
Yeah.
when you rent a table from Party Plus, it's a table that's probably been rented multiple times. It's not going to look like those bright white ones that you see that you can buy at Costco and Sam's, and Lowe's, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're going to want to cover. So linens, 100% are an easy upsell. Whenever someone calls for a quote and they only ask for tables, I always price at least one linen or a quick cover, which is a plastic cover that's popular at graduation time. Has the elastic that fits tightly around the table.
Okay.
Just as a reminder, here's the price, and you're really going to want one. So that's been our easiest upsell.
Yeah.
So are there some items that people think that they really need, but they really don't?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably all the decor.
What?
I will tell you, decor, centerpieces.
I thought you said this big whore.
I don't need that either.
They don't need that either. That just gets you in trouble. Decor.
Did you see my face? I went, what? Okay.
Definitely well, hey, we do bring the party, Janice.
More ways than one.
So you
Oh
forgot
my
the
gosh.
question.
I can't wait to see this edited.
I just publish this as is.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh, that's
yeah.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
think
was-
sometimes you get caught up, they
decor.
get caught up in the details, like the little things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and yeah, I think of every, bride that has a certain vision of what they want their, uh, reception or their wedding to look like. But, and I'll rent you all the decor, and everything you need all day long. But at the end of the day, I also feel like we're creating memories. So, don't get stuck on some of the fluff and some of the stuff and Deb's been really good at teaching me that. I want everything to look absolutely perfect, as, we all do, but she's been really good because I can sometimes get stressed, especially in setting up and party planning on those little details. And at the end of the day, when you walk into the event, when all the people are in there and all the guests are sitting down, they don't notice, one little thing that, is missing, or a candlestick that might have a slight crack in it. So she's been really good at kind of bringing me down and making me realize that stuff. And at the end of the day, it's how your guests walk away feeling and the memories that you created. So don't get hung up on the fluff stuff on the table sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. How have you been working on generating repeat business and getting
Um,
referrals and all that?
okay. So on generating repeat business, this year we sent out a bunch of holiday cards. Almost every customer got a holiday card. And if we knew that they had, future other children graduating this year, we made sure we made a comment, or, gave them they were all handwritten too,
Oh,
with personal messages. So it was a
that
bit
means
much.
so much.
It
No,
was
but that
but yeah, it did
when
mean
you
a lot,
person
and it was
opens
so
that up.
cool. Some of the
Yeah.
coolest things was the warehouse guys, because at the end of the day, they're sometimes our front line. I only talk through a computer and a phone. They see them, and there's a particular customer that had us out 3 times this year, in 2025 in Pickerington, and Landon, the warehouse manager, my youngest son, created such a friendship with this family that, I mean, they're joking, they're having a wedding this year, and they say he's getting a wedding invitation. So,
I love that.
and he was the one that said, "Hey, let me sign their card. Let me sign that Christmas card." So,
I
it's
love that.
yeah. So I think we're doing some personal things. I would like to start instituting like a thank you note right along, so we're not doing so much at the holiday season at the last minute, but right
Yeah.
after,
Yes.
especially from the showroom person and the warehouse person that worked with that person, where we can get it immediately sent out. We'll do more of that this year. But
We do
yeah.
that with new clients and we put a magnet in there.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
they love
Yeah.
swag. Don't they
Yeah.
love the swag?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
swag's important.
Yeah. So do you have any relationships with like wedding planners and venues and caterers in the area? Like, do you have preferred vendor arrangements?
Not yet. We are establishing those relationships. Now we do with lots of venues in the especially in the Hocking Hills area.
Hmm.
So you guys know me from my involvement with the chamber. So I love to network, and Deb has been. That's what she always pushes me to do. She's like, "You go do that stuff. I don't want to do it."
Hmm. Hmm.
So I have recently joined a board in the Hocking Hills. So I'm a board member of the Hocking Hills Lodging Owners Association, and that
Oh,
puts me right in front of all the venue and cabin and Airbnb owners down there, working right alongside with them. So we have established a lot of relationships with a lot of the venues down there, and even quite a few in Fairfield County, where they will
nice.
tell their customers that this is our preferred, this is who we prefer. So we are wanting to get connected with some photographers, a caterer, and just a wedding coordinator. We're kind of exploring. We'd like to get into actually doing coordinating. But
Oh.
it's a tough one. It's been hard for the owners in the past to secure that, but it is something we've talked about.
Hmm.
The owners
Yeah,
in
the
the
budget.
past had
Yeah.
multiple things going on, right? The
Yes,
owner.
yes,
So this is
very
your only
well.
thing. So-
Yes, this is our only thing. So, yeah, Brad Hutchinson was the former owner of Party Plus and owns quite a few businesses here um, in our county and throughout the country, actually. Fortunate to know Brad for a long time. Graduated with him. Went to school with him for a long time. My son works for one of his companies. My oldest does. So he's a great guy. Great leader in our community. It's been a great example, but he he was honest with us when we purchased the business, and told me right off the bat that because it's owner operated and a family, he did see some opportunities where we could probably do things differently and really enhance it. And he's right. I think there is something that we can add to it. It's not just it has meaning for the people that work in here. It's not just a clock in, clock out job. We want to make sure that this is our reputation, and we want to make sure our customers are happy.
Okay, Christine,
Yes.
we're we're seeing more people really using their homes for gatherings. Are you noticing more backyard and at-home events locally?
Absolutely, 100%. And I've even had this discussion with quite a few venue owners that are kind of struggling, in 2025, not seeing their facilities rented as often. And they're like, what is going on? And I said, we're seeing the backyard party. It is so popular. People are investing in their homes, and because they're investing in their homes, they want to have their celebrations in their homes and in the backyard. So it's huge. It's
I think a lot of that started during COVID.
I do
People just
too.
like stayed at home, fixed up their backyards and all
Yes.
that.
Yep, I
Yeah.
do. And yeah, I think that is good for us because they all need tents, tables, and chairs, and
Right.
and even arches and stuff for those backyard weddings. So for us, it's been good, but it is huge.
What's the most memorable event Party Plus has been part of so far?
The most memorable event. Um, they all have some differences. The Okay, so the most special event would have to be, and I don't know if you want me to say names or not, but the most special event was Deb and I got to actually do a lot of the planning and a lot of the work and set up and coordinate day of for a young lady here in our area that went to school with my kids and actually worked for both Deb and I. Deb at Lancaster Festival, and she was my staff member at United Way. So we actually got to be quite involved in doing Emily Cordell's wedding. And let me tell you, that
Yeah,
that was really
that's
that was
special.
it was special.
Yeah.
Being that involved. It wasn't just an order over the phone. It wasn't just an order over the email and being delivered out. It was meetings and actually setting it up. Deb and I've never been so exhausted in my life. But when you step back and see it all play out and everyone having so much fun, it was beautiful. So
And then
that
you
was
got to
pretty.
go, right?
And yeah, we got to attend, we got to coordinate. My favorite part was the walkie-talkies, telling, okay, you go next, So I've never done that kind of planning before. So it was a special event, and it just means so much more when you've watched someone grow up. And so that was
Yeah.
pretty special for us.
Oh, I love that.
What do you know now that you wish you'd known the start of this?
Uh, oh, I feel like I have um, so much more still to learn. But I wished I had definitely known how much money it takes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
But
can
you know
relate.
what? I say that, but that I think if I had, maybe I wouldn't have jumped in. So being the delayed decision maker I am, that that can sometimes hold you back. So I do wish I was a little bit more prepared for some of the financing, some of those. But it's been amazing to learn what I have learned. And I know there's opportunities out there. We got to find them and keep studying and working towards it. So, but yeah, uh, I wished I had known a little bit more about business financing.
Yeah. Christine, where do you see your business in 3 to 5 years? And what do you need to get there?
Oh gosh, money. We need lots of money. But no,
Mm.
I do see us expanding I do see us, I don't know if it's in 3 or 5 years, but I think we need another Party Plus. Um, there's definitely room to move. I don't know if you're familiar, but Party Plus did own a store in Circleville. And when we purchased this one, we did purchase all their assets, but the store actually closed. And I would say that county and below, heading down to towards the river, is they're hurting. They need. We get calls every day, so I
Oh,
do see us eventually opening up another store if I can get my kids on board. Um,
Party Plus One.
yeah,
Party Plus
Party
Two.
Plus One. Yep, Party
Yeah.
Plus Two. Yeah, I definitely see us growing. But for now, within the next 3 to 5 years, I definitely want to add to our inventory in regards to tents. I want to make sure
Mhm.
that we're staying up with the latest trends and having the next um, big tent. I'd love to start being able to offer more for some of the larger festivals, stuff like that.
Yeah. Speaking of trends, are you seeing in the market like right now more casual or upscale or themed parties?
Um, it's funny that I just was talking about this the other day. I'm shocked on how many graduations this year are doing themes rather than the traditional school colors.
Oh,
Like, what's an
So,
example?
a tea party theme.
oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
picking the graduates' favorite colors rather than their school colors.
oh,
Um, uh, Playing on what their next step is going to be. I think we have a graduate who's going to be um, going to Florida, so they're to college, so they're doing a beach theme party.
okay.
So
Cute.
yeah, yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
So if someone in Lancaster, Fairfield County area wants to host an event, what's your single best piece of advice?
Start planning early. Definitely figure out what the items that you need that are the hardest to get your hands on. For example, if you know you're absolutely going to need a tent, secure it early. The little things like the silverware, the florals, the centerpieces, that can wait, but make sure you're securing your basics. If there's a particular style chair you like, a particular style, a tent that you only need this size, secure them early.
Hmm.
That is the most
How
important part.
how early do you need to do that?
Really depends on the it really depends on the oh, my computer's about ready to die. Sorry.
The time of
Um,
year?
it really depends on the size of your event. For example, if you're having an event, let's say a wedding of 120 or more, you're going to need a really large tent if it's an outdoor wedding. And our largest tent, it's reserved almost a year in advance.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be
I
our
had two
40.
tents. Well, when I did the weddings in my backyard, I had
Mhm,
two tents, and one was like for everybody to sit down with the tables,
mhm,
and the other one was like all the food was lined up, and
mhm.
the dance floor
Yep,
was in there.
yep.
But yeah,
It's pretty, but you can need a large tent, and we can get
yeah, they were
creative
big.
with some of our smaller tents, but it just depends on your space.
Yeah,
So yeah, I say start planning don't worry about the little details, start planning the big stuff early on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What do you love most about what you do now?
Um, I love most being back into customer service. even the ugly parts, you know, even the customer that might make you, you know, grit your teeth. I just love every bit of figuring out those situations. And the best part is just knowing that I'm involved in people's, some of their most special moments. You know, we say Party Plus, we bring the party, but it's not always, we bring just really families together in really important times. It's not always just a party. Sometimes it's been a memorial service, and it's been an event that just takes some seriousness. And so standing back and watching my family grow in this opportunity and in those opportunities, that's been the most special part. The customer service and being with my family.
That's nice. So where can people find you and start planning their next event, Christine?
You can find us at partypluslancaster.com to start planning your party. And just remember, Party Plus, we bring the party.
Love it. Thank you so much for being with us today, Christine.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys know that you two, oh my gosh, two of my mentors.
No.
No, seriously. I mean, think about it. Think about how we met.
know.
We wouldn't have met if it wasn't for business ownership, you know, and
know.
being a part of the chamber. So I have watched your businesses, and I've told both of you, and I hope you know I mean it. You are mentors to me. I don't know how many people I've told Michele that I've always admired your patience, to how you've started out, and you know, and now look where you're
Yes, I
at
do.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never would
So,
have said that patience was one of my virtues, but
well, it is. I mean,
I
look
think
how
Michelle
many.
is probably one of the smartest business people I know.
I tell people that all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I 100%. And then Janice, just your connections with your community, and taking
Yeah.
that leap of faith. And I was so happy to be a part of it when you opened Humble Crate.
You
So
were a big part of it.
yeah. So thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I,
Yeah,
I
I'm
appreciate
so
both of you.
excited for you and your future. It's bright.
me
Thank
too.
you.
You're gonna
Thank you.
shine. You're gonna shine.
Yes, I hope so. Yes. Thank you
You
so
shine,
much.
shine.